Hello everyone, John Runner 88 here with my top 10 of 2024. And we'll be starting off this list with some disappointments for the year and some honorable mentions. And let's start with the disappointments because we've got one that is just like it's kind of frustrating because of the awesomeness that we have had regarding the range of figures that we have gotten using these parts, but I'll say it's the Fleet Commander. It's like it's 90% awesome, and then we've got the knees, which just they suck so much, and even like I think like the angle at which the feet are in there, it just like doesn't articulate well in the legs. And when you compare it to all the other Mandalorian like pieces that we've had, not being able to like have him kneel down, like that's as far as it's going. So a little disappointment there, just because they're gonna try and use these legs as much as they can, because they do that with all their Mandalorian pieces. So let's hope they don't use it too much more. They've The one good thing is that the figures they have used these legs on, they look really cool. So that's their like saving grace, but that's about it for that. Next disappointment, the Phase One Clone Trooper. Again, it's like the body from honestly, 100% amazing figure right here. The helmet doesn't fit. Yes, you can wiggle it on like a little, like you can angle it down and kind of hide the chin, but just putting it on normally, the chin is always poking out. This was absolutely beyond frustrating. Like I got one and I was like, oh, the helmet's just a little small on this one. The other one, same issue. So it's at least got, I can take the helmet off and they can just be a trooper hanging out. But I think that they are doing up a new helmet for the like 501st slash like lieutenant figure that they're coming out with, because they didn't show it having a removable helmet, so I assume it's a newly tooled Phase 1 helmet, which will be cool, but um, yeah, so disappointment on that front. All right, honorable mentions will pivot right into the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. They redid the helmet for the 4-pack that they came out with, and it's phenomenal. This is a 100% like perfect clone that we have here. Um, they just need to remember to pack in some unmasked heads whenever they release these figures. Um, and yeah, I'll be a happy collector. So I there's really no issues with this figure, if you ask me, aside from it just like not having an unmasked head. But the helmet is perfect. Yeah, so there you go. Honorable mention there, just because we've had tons of clone troopers. I didn't want to put them on the list just because I think I put it on a previous list or something. Whatever. We all love the clones. Next honorable mention. I know this is like high on people's lists. Dooku. I love that he's an all new figure. Only issue, we don't have much for him to do in our collections because we just have him. We did get, the Padawan Anakin, but we need like a new Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. We need like a brand new Yoda. Like I would love it if they gave us just like a, you know, from the ground up Yoda. That'd be amazing. Give Dooku something to do. But for now, he's just waiting for the other separatist leaders to show up, I suppose. And then I really wanted to put this next one on my list. This is my last honorable mentions. Um, it's Soul, and again, it's kind of the Dooku issue. Is like he's the only. We are getting more High Republic Jedi. We are getting Indara and um, Yord, and I love that, but we don't have him yet, so Soul's just been kind of sitting around because he doesn't quite fit in with our other Jedi characters because he's from the High Republic, so he's just been kind of there. I did pick up a second one, though. I'm trying to find some type of head to swap onto it to make some other Jedi to go along with him, but Soul looks awesome. Some great Jedi pieces, especially this top part. Great piece for them to use on just like future Jedi because it doesn't have any like crazy like old New Republic like not New Republic High Republic detailing on it. It is fairly plain, so they could get away with using this on just they could just do some generic Jedi characters, and the neck I think is a different piece that they could plug in whatever they need to. So last honorable mention. So let's get into our top 10. And we will start with our favorite bounty hunter. Got Deluxe Jango Fett here. And as many people will point out, it is deluxe with some, quotation marks around it because he was pretty much just, you know, he had a regular amount of accessories with him pretty much. I did swap out his blasters with some older ones that I had so that he could have some nice silver ones because the ones that he came with were like a boring, just like plain plastic gray color. But I love the sheen on him. I think they did a great job of creating like kind of like that chrome effect. I think overall he's just great usage of existing parts and a few new parts here and there. And I think overall he's just a great looking figure. I was posing him a bunch when I first got him, but could have definitely used some like extra accessories to really bump him out into that deluxe realm that we want him to exist in properly. But let's move on to number 9, and we have Hera here. Um, I absolutely love this design of her. I think that she's much better proportioned than the Ahsoka one that we got, especially in the legs. I mean, that's really the only issue with the Ahsoka one is just her legs are just oddly proportioned. Um, but she's a great character. She came with some fun accessories. She came with the Melaroon fruit. She can't hold it, so it's kind of like that's a little kind of whatever. But overall, she's just a great looking figure, and good. A lot of these figures could have like kind of flip flopped around, but again, I haven't had her for very long. I'm sure I'll get more usage out of her, as I do more with the Ghost. But as for right now, I just threw her in 9, just because we've got the Ahsoka one already, so it wasn't like super thrilling to get a new Hera. Not as thrilling as it was to get the first one. But now we'll go on to number 8 here is the Jetpack Stormtrooper. It's just, an army builder. I love just getting more and more and more and more and more Stormtroopers. So it was cool getting this nice variant. And, all we need is that Sand Trooper now, and we can just buy even more, I suppose. But I do like this overall design. They did a new helmet, which is awesome. They're utilizing the peg hole in the torso that they have, and yeah, the only thing is like this is a little like this it doesn't connect to anything. This is kind of like a breathing apparatus or whatever. Which if it was connected to the chest, it would kind of get in the way of articulation a little bit. So it's not too bad. And once you've got like their weapons kind of held up, you can kind of tuck it in so it looks like it's kind of attached. But fantastic stormtrooper body that we have, and just taken to another level with just some extra bits tooled up for him. Yeah. that is my that is number 8. Now we'll move on to 7. And we have Ezra here. Again, these kind of like Rebels characters could have been almost anywhere on the list or like interchanged with each other. I just think that Ezra is, you know, again, haven't had too much time with him. I love the way his lightsaber looks. It's definitely painted up really nice. I think that his legs are a little plain. I think they could have done a little more. I might go in and kind of hit him with some weathering on that, just to kind of take it to the next level. But yeah, Ezra looking good. He had a lot of fun accessories, especially the um, Scout Trooper helmet fits him perfectly. It looks really good. And I could really see them utilizing that in the future for just a Scout Trooper, just having like a flip up helmet, doing something with it. Yeah, it's number 7. Let's get on to number 6. Now, this one was very surprising. We have Osha here. Now, some of you might be like, oh, she's just. I don't want to hear anything about the show. I really liked the show. She was a fun character. But this figure is awesome. Like haven't used her in too many setups yet, but she could be utilized in just any like rebel display. Like she doesn't have anything that um, really sets her apart from like she could kind of fit in any timeline, and this body could definitely be used for any for any amount of customization, like for a female technician character. If you take the vest off, she's a little too thin, but I think it looks good with the vest. And yeah, got the little pip droid accessory. Her face looks great. The hair looks much better in person and in hand than it did in like the promo shots. The promo shots made it look like I even remember my wife saw a picture of it and she was like, "Ugh," but yeah, it looks much better in person. And then she's got a little backpack, and she did come with a blaster, but it's kind of weird the way it holsters, so I don't bother with that. But the bend at her knee is just insane. The ankle articulation insane. You can get her just in a kneeling pose in 2 seconds. There she is. She's working on a ship or something. She's just under the ghost checking its systems, you know? The only thing she's missing is, or I guess her torso doesn't have too much of like a articulation point, which they could have fit in there somewhere. And her wrists don't have any. It's just swivel. But other than that, she's got a fantastic amount of articulation, and even her arms bend pretty good. Yeah. So that is Osha there. Now we're getting into the top 5. My 5 pick will probably, um, you know, I've just gotten a lot of use out of these figures, and it's my first time getting this um, mold in hand. But I'm just kind of lumping all of like the X-wing pilots together. I got the 4 pack, and I ended up getting. I didn't get Luke when he came out like a few years back. I think when that body was originally released, but I picked up a Luke this year. I picked up this 4 pack. I picked up 2 other Lukes. No, I picked up 3 other Lukes. I picked one up in store, I think, and then I found, or they did like a $5 sale on Amazon. I got 2 more, and I've just been like popping and swapping heads and making new pilots and stuff. Um, so I know some people were frustrated with like them not making like a female body, and that would have been great, but it does work. It does work fine for what they have here. It's definitely it's definitely good. But yeah, it's definitely a nice a nice overall body, and it slender enough to work for, you know, male and female. And we got some fun alien rebels into the mix. On to number 4. We have Kanan. I do not like the overall look of this, like the design of this Kanan. Like, I love the character, but I just think that his original design looks much cooler than the later seasons. And this is just like a great depiction of the character. And just like the textures on his shirt and everything. He's got like the accurate boots. He's got the armor. All the printing on there looks great. Yeah, he's got his lightsaber, hilt and everything. I think the only thing that would have just taken this to the next level is if you could pop his lightsaber apart and plug it on in 2 separate places. But other than that, he's a great looking figure, and I've had a lot of fun like posing him. Number 3, we have Garazeb Zeb Aurelius. When I got this figure, I got the deluxe one first because we didn't have the ghost yet. And yeah, the only issue with this figure is just he's got just a very plain unemotive face, emotive, however you want to say it. Just doesn't have much of an expression on his face, which, you know, some people look like this, but he was always making, you know, very expressive faces in the show. But I mean, you can even see like the different like types of paint they have going there. It looks awesome. His posing is just like off the charts. Like his ab crunch is just crazy. And then we got him. If you got the ghost, you did get this one, which is very similar, but they did do a lot of new parts. So I'm kind of like lumping them in together because you can just like swap the heads and give this previous one, you know, that expression, and that's awesome. So yeah, good. Zeb there at number 3. Number 2, we have Sabine. This is her season 3 look, I believe. And yeah, they did good by us with this Sabine by giving us the swappable helmet that is accurately sized, and they're using that again for the re-release of the Ahsoka version with the Howler to give us a proper sized helmet with that. It's a shame we have to spend extra money to get a whole, you know, creature with her, but it's cool nonetheless that they are getting that helmet out to us again. And this figure here is just, you know, the deco all over it. Looks phenomenal. The only thing it was missing for me was just some flashes of paint on her belt, which I added with just some metallic paints to add to like the buttons and stuff. She does have a jetpack. I just don't have it on her currently. But yeah, the hair looks great, and just like the deco overall is just awesome. And she just, you know, a lot of new tooling with her as far as like there's like new legs, new like I think arms, at least lower arms. You know, new belt. They did a whole new like torso. So a lot of new pieces. She's got a lot of nice articulation there too. But yeah, there's Sabine. Looking good. And now, on to number 1. What might my number 1 be? Well, I mentioned clones earlier, how I didn't want to put too many on the list, or many at all. But we also didn't get too many this year. We got the 4-pack, and we got Captain Rex. That is right. Or technically Clone Commander Rex, as they would like to call him on the box. But this is my Rex. I have dirtied him up. I've customized him a little bit. Added some paint on the pauldron. Just, you know, beat him up all over. But yeah, when they first announced this figure being like a single-carded figure, they just said Rex Bracca Mission, which was the same name as the one in the 4-pack that they came out with when Bad Batch was like first releasing. And I was very worried that they were just going to repack this old skinny-legged Rex with the incorrect like hair and everything, and was pleasantly surprised when they revealed this and it was on the new clone body. They used the bald head and just gave him like that paint job to make it look like he's got his short little crew cut. My only gripe with him is his belt. I wish it was like a realistic depiction of a clone trooper. Like I wish it looked like this, because it adds more to the look of the realistic clone troopers. Because this is just an animated kind of style, um, but not the worst thing in the world. Still looks good, but yes, that is Rex is my number one just because he looks amazing. He is on the new clone body, which is fantastic. They utilize like the old hands, but it's it's fine. He's at least got. Does he have? No, I was gonna say he's got up and down on both of them, but he doesn't. Um, but he just looks fantastic. He's got the deco where he needs it, and yeah, that is my number one. And I need to use him in I think more pictures soon because I just love the way he looks. I've been dirtying up a lot of my clones, so they've seen some stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be my number one for the year, I think. Again, a lot of these Rebels characters could flip flop around, um, and wind up somewhere else on the list, but I think overall, I'm happy with where I placed everybody. I'll get them all in frame real quick. And now, do you have a top figure of the year? Do you have a top 10 list? Let's see, we've got Sabine and we've got Rex. There we go. Got all the snowmen over there. But yeah, this is my top 10 here. Looking good. In front of the fantastic ghost that we all just got. And yeah, I think that's gonna about do it for this. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe to all that fun stuff. Let me know what your number one figure is down below. I would like to know. And go follow me over on Instagram, JohnRunner88 over there as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye, guys.